There it goes. Hey guys. So it's been about a week now since my first video, which I don't think I even uploaded to YouTube yet. I gotta do that before I upload this one. But we was working on this 623 Caterpillar, and the other video, we didn't have all this taken off yet when I made the first video. But we thought there was actually a whole lot of shit wrong with this this engine. Because of one thing going wrong, it has all kinds of other stuff starts messing up on it. So after we got the top end taken off right here, I was cranking the engine, and when this number 5 cylinder came up, the fuel injector lodged into the top of the piston, and it really like imprinted. It went down like an inch into that piston. So we had to drop the oil pan underneath it so that we can pop out that number 5 piston in the back. And luckily he's got a few of these engines laying around for spare parts. We had this guy right here. It is also a 3046 engine. This is what they call it. It's a 3046. And so we took off the top of it, and this is the new one that we just took off the engine that was over there, our spare engine. And here's the fuel injector, second one from the very back of the engine. The center of that fuel injector, it broke out, and I think it's still in the piston, but it's hard to see because it's like way in there. I'll show you here in a second, but we're gonna put that one away for a while. This is the new one we're gonna put in. We've been cleaning out everything, all the push rods, the fuel injectors, and if you look at this piston, it's a 5.4 inch. See that guy? Hopefully I get enough light. Here you go. The fuel injector pressed into that, and a piece of that fuel injector kind of bounced around in there a few thousand times and just caused all kinds of havoc. You see all the dents and punch holes all over in it. And he said we could possibly reuse this one. Like it's kind of screwed up on the top, but like it's still usable. But we went ahead and just bought another one anyway. It'll be at the Caterpillar up there in Mesa by tomorrow morning. So how you pop these out is you take off the bottom of the engine, just the oil pan. It's laying right there. I cleaned it out real good. It's made of aluminum, so it's pretty light. I blasted it out with our water blaster. Cleaned out these there are plates that go in between the top of the engine. There's another one that goes in between the oil pan and the bottom of the engine. But you got to take all that apart. I'm actually done working for the day. I clocked out about an hour ago. I was helping Rick with a roller, is what you call it. It wasn't starting. It's got the relay switch on the roller over there was fried, so we ordered another one of those. Not a relay, solenoid. But anyways, it's the second one from the back. You take off the bottom. This is where the oil pan goes, and this is the one we took out. You just undo these 2 bolts right there. It pops out, slides out this way. You get a 2x4, and you softly tap it out. You tap the bottom of the piston rod after you take off that bottom cap, and you just pop it out through the top. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know how dark it is down here. But then I came in and I scraped off all the old gasket off of this. But before you could actually do all that, we had to take off the oil pickup line. There's actually an oil sump is like back here, and a pipe going all the way to the oil pump right here. It sucks it up this way, Goes up, sprays it all over the engine when it's running. All these parts that we've been taking out, I have to go through and I basically scrape them clean. This guy is what holds down the heads into the engine. A few dozen of those. All this stuff has to do with the oil coolant or the water coolant. Here's the other plate, goes between the top of the engine and the head. Here's another air box. And all these parts I've been cleaning over here. The valve covers, more oil lines, water lines. Here's that. See this? There's a oil sump right there. It's actually upside down right now. And, you have to go through every part that you take off, and you got to clean, like thoroughly clean it. It's alright if there's a bit of oil in some of it. It's, as long as you get all the solid particles out of it, you're good. There's more stuff right here. What did I throw in here? These oil lines, they go to the fuel injector from the fuel pump. Got all those sparkling clean. And since I'm done working on the diesel for the day, I got this carburetor from the Ranchero that I'm still working on. I only work on it whenever I get a chance after work, because it's the only, I work in a mechanic shop, so I'd rather work on it here than at home. But there's where the fuel filter is going, where it broke off inside the carburetor, so I'm going to try to melt it out right now with the torch. And the first time I was working on this, I dropped the carburetor on the ground, and I busted up this fucking thing. I forget what it's called. I don't remember. It's another stupid part. But anyways, I got a new one. After I get this fuel filter melted out of there, hopefully I don't bend the carburetor or warp it or crack it while I'm torching it. And then I'll go in and I'll replace that too. And I think that's all I got to tell you for today. Tomorrow we're going to be replacing the piston, and then we're just going to start reassembling the whole thing. And it's probably going to take a couple days. You got to be really precise on how you reassemble everything. Just one thing at a time. We don't record anything when we're taking it apart. The head mechanic, he goes by memory on what goes on next. And sometimes you'll be putting on a part after you get done installing a whole bunch of shit. There's a whole nother part that was on the other side of the table that you can't get in after you put in the other stuff, and you got to disassemble the whole thing again just to get on a part that should have went on before everything else. So I'm sure it'll happen again this time. You know, we'll fuck up and put something on before something else needs to go on. We'll have to redo the whole thing. It's fine though. It's a learning process for me, for these engines anyway. This is my first time working on diesels, which is pretty cool, because if you look at here's the valve. There's no spark plugs, no glow plugs. These engines use pure compression to ignite the fuel air mixture. It's pretty cool. It's really it's a lot more simple of a process of internal combustion than gasoline engines, and they're easier to work on too, because everything's so big, and you can get your hands in there a little bit easier than a little tiny car engine compartment. And I have been taking photos here and there, taking stuff off so that I have a reference, so when we go start reassembling everything, I have a photo of it, of what it's supposed to look like. And that's about it for today. tomorrow I might make another video if I want to stick around after work. And, see you guys next time.